Hey, I'm Brendan from Wheatus. I'm coming down to Australia in January of 2025 to tour the Dirtbags Across Australia tour. Except that's a bit, we have to say around Australia because you can't go across Australia. You'll die in the desert, you know? We know this. We've been there enough times. So, you know. But we've done it in the States. We've done all myself and Gabrielle, my opening act and partner, and she's also in Wheatus and so on. But she's been opening for me across the whole United States, all lower 48 states. And on the way down to you guys, we're stopping in Hawaii to make it 50, or 49 rather. See, I can't count, musician. but 49th state is the day before we go to you, and then we go to Australia. You guys are actually the 50th state. So really, that's how we're doing.
Quite fitting, isn't it, mate? That's quite fitting.
Yeah. Yeah, we're stoked. We're stoked.
Very good, man. Thanks for joining us today. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
And also, as you mentioned, mate, you are back in Australia over January and February next year for the Acoustic Dirtbag Across Australia tour. Starts in Adelaide the 19th. It goes pretty much everywhere across Australia, as you say, mate, and finishes up in Torquay on February the 2nd. So, as far as the touring side of it, the actual travel side, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. We did it last year. I did it opening up for Art Alexakis from Everclear. And we then, a few months later, we came back and did the Pandemonium Festival opening for Blondie and Alice Cooper and Psych Furs and Cosmic Psychos and Wolf Mother were also on that bill. That was a fun one. That was a real trip.
So, yeah, as you say, mate, like you've already been here twice this year in 2024. Back again early 2025, so that's 3 times in 12 months. Like, you just leave yourself a go bag at the airport, or do you sort of pay?
Yeah, we have a little, there's a little flat where we stay in Manly Vale, and we just show up, we make a little bit of curry, we get our sleep on for 24 hours, and then we head out, It's like we call it hubbing.
That's your term, is it?
Yeah. We love Australia. As you may know, Australia was the first place that embraced Teenage Dirtbag in the whole world. First place we had a hit with it. First place we were able to go overseas and do some touring. I mean, the day before you made it something, we were playing in front of 2 people in Lawrence, Kansas, who thought we were Smash Mouth. So you brought us to a new place, and we're forever grateful.
Is that serious or a joke?
No, that's real news. That's real news. That's real news.
That's sensational.
Yeah.
But why is it you think that Australian audiences love you so much, mate? Like, I know you've got a sense of humour similar to ours because we're all just piss wrecks. We don't give a fuck. But is
Sure.
it a sense of humour that we connect with, or is it the music? Is it a combination?
The combination, I mean, I learned this from Akadaka. You take the music very seriously. You do not take yourself seriously at all. That's the formula, So, I mean, I've loved Angus since I was 9 years old, and yeah, he's an example to me of how to do it right. And it's a different world these days. It's not everybody gets their shot at arena rock the way that they did it, but it's a forever example. And I always thought to myself when I was a little kid watching him on TV, man, if I could do any version of that, I'd be okay. That would be a good life, and it is. I'll tell you what.
So does that mean we're going to get a stripped back acoustic version of Thunderstruck?
No, but possibly something off Powerage.
Shit. So actually along those lines, bro, like what can we expect from you? Like, say you've been out here with old mate from Everclear, you've done the Wheatus full tour, but you acoustically, like what can we expect?
So we developed it, myself and Gabrielle, we developed it over the course of a year. And really what it is we're telling the whole story of the song. We're taking requests. By the way, there's no set list. You call them, we play them. That's how it works. And essentially we tell the story of how the song came to be. And there's a lot of people out there who, in addition to the Teenage Dirtbag clique, which is, we love those people, but there's some people who've been waiting to hear songs on our other records for years and years and years and never got the chance. And so not only are they going to get the chance to call the one they want and hear me play it, but also I'll explain it to them, see what was going on at the time, where it came from, what the thought process was, how it evolved, anything they want to know, really. And just have a real, no rules, kind of just conversational story based set based in what you guys want. You know, you call it, we play it, we talk about it.
So, like, the crowd would obviously love that because they're getting to say in what you play. But from your perspective too, bro, like, that must be great because you get different. Like, of course, you're gonna have your core songs every night, but you'd actually be reliving that whole process night after night, wouldn't you? As people ask you about it.
Yeah, because you can't rehearse it. I mean, you can rehearse the song, but you can't rehearse remembering the story because you don't know which one is coming that night. So you got to be on your toes and you know be honest and go back into your memory right in front of people right then and there, as if you're on the spot. You know, and that's the glory of it. We love doing that. That's a much more interesting show. The other thing is, never really liked the idea as an artist of showing up and telling people these are the songs on the set list that you're going to hear tonight. That's it. You know, I never felt good about that. I felt like, well, what if that's not the kind of set that they need that night? You know, what if they need something else? They're always going to get their Teenage Dirtbag and their Lemonade and their Leroy and a Little Respect. That's always going to happen. That's a guarantee. But, you know, filling in the rest of the show, the emotional content, the way people remember it for the rest of their lives, that's kind of a thing I think they should determine. They should call that shot, right? Because what if they didn't have the kind of day that I had? It's more important what kind of day they had. It's more important what they're going through and what they're thinking of right now. And that always makes the show much more, I would call it customized. You know, it's like a customized show for that particular audience. It couldn't happen another way. It's not going to happen another way any other night. That's it. You know, it's their show.
So have you ever been caught out? Has anyone ever caught out a song and you just like drawn a blank and just gone like, fuck me, I can't remember that.
No, never drawn a blank on one of my own songs. I've flubbed some. I made some clams on stage in front of people instead of playing a song. But I'll get through it. You know, I'll figure it out. We have the whole month of December to really work over the catalog and make sure we know what we're doing. So, you know, we're going to be doing that, myself and Gabrielle. It's just an exercise in knowing your shit. You know, you wrote it. You know, don't you know how to play it? You know, it's kind of like, you know, that's it. I mean, you know, this responsibility time.
Man up time. You mentioned actually, yeah, like when the crowd's singing it out, you're getting set list tailored to how they're feeling on the night and what they're expressing. But from your point of view, bro, like just say you turn up for a show and you've had a shitty day, you can't get into it. Like, what do you actually do to psych yourself up and make sure you still put on a good show?
Yeah, and the in Pennsylvania 2 nights ago, and the night before that, I was in hospital for 12 hours with diverticulitis because I'm an old man. But you know, we we rehearsed the next day a little bit in the afternoon. I was limping around, and I drove the band and the van and trailer to Pennsylvania. We loaded it up and drove it to Pennsylvania, and I walked around the venue, just looking people in the eye, saying, "What do you want to hear? What kind of a night you want this to be?" And getting a picture of what they were vibing, and that brought me up to a level where I felt like, okay, this is what they want, you know. And if it's that clear, it kind of feeds the adrenaline in a very specific way, right? Instead of just like, oh, I'll just get up there and wing it. That's not it. You're communicating with people. You're having a conversation, and you're gonna let them tell you how to do it, and that's what brings me to that level, even no matter how shitty I'm feeling, you know.
Now, you mentioned that you've got your partner Gabrielle with you, mate. So I just want to throw a hypothetical question at you here. Like, just say just before the gig, you forget to put the toilet seat up and she's got the shits when she comes out. Like, does that affect the dynamics of the performance?
Listen, I have never left the toilet seat up, and I never will. I don't do that, man. Put that fucking toilet seat down, you slob motherfuckers. I'm calling all guys out on this right now, right here. You can put that seat down. You need to put that seat down. Disgusting.
The whole for the chore now. Put your fucking toilet seat down.
Fucking, how hard is it? Grow up, you fucking slobs.
You've also got the original founding member and guitarist from Wheatus, who's now with the Chats. Pricey joined you on tour, mate. So is he just doing his own thing, or is he going to be playing with you?
He's going to be doing his own thing, which I'm quite looking forward to. He's a friend of a friend down there, and as everybody is in the Australian music industry. And, we wanted to have him come out and do his thing. And I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a variety show because he's nothing like Gabrielle, and Gabrielle's nothing like me, and then we have the Wheatus show. So it's, it's fun. It's gonna be fun.
You must be a nice guy though, bro. Like you're touring with your partner, you've got an ex-bandmate playing with you. Like most musicians just hate each other when they finish up, but you see, everyone seems to love you. What's going on?
Well, I think it counts up above 30 now members we've had in this band, touring members, and I have to say that what it's really based on is just looking out for each other on the road and being respectful. We're not that into the whole party scene. No drugs, no alcohol really have ever taken us over. And, it's about surviving and knowing that you want everybody to be happy they showed up. And that goes for your band too. I mean, if the band isn't happy, eventually you got a problem. And, you can't do it if everyone's pissed off and feels taken advantage of or any of that stuff. So you kind of keep that to a minimum. And, the Carly was in the band in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Some really tough touring that she did with us. Carly Bruce from Cronulla. She's going to be joining us for this one because she's back in Australia these days. But we're so excited to see her because we really did the time together. We really did some hard time together in some hard clubs and some dark years where there wasn't anybody really paying attention. And we made those records together during that time and did those tours together. And it's really nice to be able to do something with her like this, where it's like a little bit more, things are stabilized a little bit, if you will, so it's kind of like we're both looking forward to seeing her and working with her again. But the truth is that I'm friends with, almost everybody who's come through the turnstile on this band. We still talk, we still hang out. I work with Phil Jimenez from the first version of the band, the guy with the mohawk and the bananas and stuff. He's the one who mixed the re-record of Teenage Dirtbag 2020. So, we're still colleagues. We still work together.
It's taken 11 questions, mate, but I got a serious answer out of you.
All right. Sorry, I won't do that again.
That's figured out. Like, fun is a big part of Wheatus. It's part of your music. It's part of your live show. It's part of your life. But when I saw you at Pandemonium this year, and it was just the whole feeling that came from the stage out of the crowd it was warm because you made it so fun on stage. But when you're doing an acoustic show as opposed to a full band show, are the dynamics different for you? Like, do you have to approach it differently with that sense of humor? Because it's you haven't got as many people to bounce off, I guess.
Actually, in some ways, it's easier because you can tell more stupid jokes about yourself and be more self-deprecating, and you have a little bit of a longer set, so you have more opportunities to fuck up and fall on your face. So, I mean, it's what I said before. You take the music as seriously as you possibly can, but don't take yourself seriously at all. And that's where the warmth comes from. We are very genuinely lucky and feel that every time we step on stage that we can do this for a living. It's crazy. Seems like a big, with all that's going on in the world today, playing music seems like a frivolous, easy job. And I'm not going to lie, there are nights when it's really hard, but it ain't as hard as, carrying a rucksack across Ukraine or something like that. And we have that in our hearts all the time, that there's real suffering in the world, or what's going on in Palestine.
So Wheatus also recently released your debut album as an epic 20-song expanded edition, mate. So how was the reception to that? Did you find it brought new people under the band, or was it just more old fans getting the top up?
It was so awesome. It was so wonderful, actually. It was both. It was like everybody kind of got it. Well, whoever loved the first record, they got 10 extra songs that were hiding in the closet since then. And, we finally got them out to people. So they got the extra meal, they got the extra goods. And then if you were new to us, you maybe didn't understand exactly how much music we've put out over the years. I think there's like 80 some odd tracks in the Wheatus catalog streaming right now. And, it's our goal to be able to deliver all that music to anybody who wants to hear it. And, like I said, you get your Teenage Dirtbag, but you also get a lot of stuff, a lot of other things that you might be interested in. And, we don't ever phone it in. We take a long time to make a record because we try to make every song really just like do something special, like not phone it in. So, yeah, I think it was way better received than I thought it would be. Way better. We had Rolling Stone wrote about it and stuff. It was like, wow, man, what's going on? This is crazy, and it was joyful. And now the only, I should say that because we did that, the only multi-track version of Teenage Dirtbag that exists anymore is the new one. The old one has been lost, it seems. So, we're reborn somehow, and it's been one of the reasons is that record that was a pain in the ass to make, but we finished it.
You mentioned that track being lost, mate, and the press release alludes to extra lost tracks from over the years. But what I want to know is, in this modern day and age, how the fuck does anyone lose a song?
A really good question, man. I handed eventually five whole copies of the multi-track over to the label, and each of them was wrapped in a piece of paper that said, "Back this up to Pro Tools and tape as soon as you get it," and nobody did that. So I regret not overseeing that process myself back in the day, but I did deliver 5 redundant copies, and they are all gone, it seems. No one can find them. Rolling Stone got ghosted by the label when they asked the question. So it's it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know how you do it, but somebody seems to have done it.
It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Shit. Well, before I let you go, mate, I've started a new segment called Photobomb, which basically means before I talk to you, I troll your social media accounts and come up with a few photos. And I want to ask you more about them to explain.
Okay.
So, first one I've come up with is this one from the.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Spider Nate Webb. That's my buddy right there.
I get Carl to plug in so he doesn't sue me, but tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah, so that's my buddy Spider Nate Webb. He's an independent wrestler. And he invited us to an event in Queens, New York, in New York City, to play him into the ring. And then I had to wind up jumping in the ring to save him. It was wild. It was a wild night. And, I gave the MJF a DDT that night, and I don't think he's ever recovered. I mean, he still looks a little crooked from that one.
What the fuck's an MJF and what's a DDT?
My wrestling friends will know. Google that shit. Google that shit.
Oh, very cool. And then I've found this one's a bit of a 3-parter, but I'll give you the main part first. This shot here, man, like this was taken by SW Photography and Media back in 2019. But something like that, man, like what sort of feeling do you get being out in the crowd and doing that with them all around you?
Well, I got to tell you, I don't remember that one. That's a wild one right there. Well, so there were nights where I've run out into the crowd, and that seems to have been one of them. I don't know where, though. It might be Minneapolis, maybe. Maybe it's Minnesota. But it looks like I might be in a state of, how do I say this, being grabbed somewhere. I'm not here to make light of that, but that's something that does happen sometimes when you run into the crowd and there's drunk people out there. So anyway, yeah, I think I had a good show after that. I'm not sure when and where that was, though. I must admit, that's a funny one.
Has it ever gone completely pear-shaped for you? Like you go out in the crowd and someone pulls your cord out or someone grabs you?
Nah, it's never gone completely downhill. It's gotten a little weird, but most people are respectful. They want to see what's going to happen. They don't want to stop it, but yeah.
Before we go on, I should point out that wasn't a challenge to everybody out there. It was just a general question.
No, don't. Whatever's happening in this photo, don't do it.
Right now, I want to zoom in on a couple of people in this photo, mate, and get your opinion.
Sure.
So, this chick here looks like she's having a ball.
Yeah, she literally cannot believe what's going on, and maybe she knows something I don't. That's what I'd be worried about now, looking at her.
This one here doesn't look like she gives a fuck.
No, she's on her social media talking about another band.
She's probably on there going, like, I can't believe I got you within 5 meters of Brendan, but if she had stayed off the phone, she probably would have been able to give you a hug and sing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's texting her friends at the Coldplay show.
Shit. All right, Brendan. Well, thanks for your time today, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. Wheatus will be out here for the acoustic tour January, February next year. Tickets available on the socials. Sounds like it's going to be a great tour, man. I'll catch up with you at the Brisbane show and hopefully have a beer.
Thanks, Chris. Definitely. That was lovely. Thank you very much, mate.